Yo, what's going on YouTube? It is your boy Sir Jorge, the Great, bringing you our draft analysis for the APM Juniors, hosted by Jed himself. Shout out to him for allowing me to join his league. I'm very excited for this team, a team I'm about to show you. If I sound weird or my throat sounds a little hoarse, it's because I am currently dying from allergies. I'm severely allergic to mountain cedar, and it's literally like the high season for it. So if I sound weird, it is because of that. But no, nonetheless, back to the APM draft. We are still your Scent and Eggies for the season. I don't think I'm going to get a Gen 8 logo. I really just like the name of my team, and I don't want to change it. Also, the logo by John Jr. Shout out to him for this amazing logo that we still have and love. But anyways, back to the draft. We were in the number 2 seed, so we were almost the wheel pick, almost at that first pick, and with that, I was sort of thinking to myself, what should I possibly get? And there's a lot of new Pokemon because it's Generation 8. A lot of the newer mons and older mons have been cut to make this Juniors Division a little bit easier for the draft players. So there was like no Galarian Rapidash 10 as well as Uber Pokemon like Excadrill. So with that, I sort of was like, okay, what kind of team do I want to build? And there was a Pokemon that they had off of points, and I had never used it before. And now it got Dragon Dance, so I was like, you know what? Let's get it. Screw it. Let's go for it. So our first pick was actually Hydreigon, Dragon Dark type. Base 98 speed, and you can see its stats right then and there. I've always wanted to draft this Pokemon for a good bit. Never did, never have, and now I can, and I am. And so this is a really good start off because now we have a Dark type. We are starting our Dragon Fairy Steel Core, and it's really good against Ghost types now that Pursuit's out of the game. It's gonna allow us to deal with those threats kind of well. So so we had more picks, and so I was looking for a Steel type. I wanted to pick up Melmetal, but I got on top of getting, I think it was already not stolen, but it was taken. It was very expensive. We were doing points, and Hydreigon and Melmetal, I believe, were the same. Costed the same amount of points, both at 15, and we only had about 80 points the draft, so that was going to be almost half of our points, and so I did not want to go with that route. So I went to something a little bit cheaper. Another Pokemon is pretty good, pretty defensive. And that is Ferrothorn. Very, very good Pokemon. Very bulky. Sets up spikes. Sets up rocks. Can set up Leech Seed. And it's really a defensive Pokemon, which is good to pair off with an offensive Pokemon like Hydreigon, which can be defensive like Defog and Roost. But I did want to get a Pokemon that is going to set up hazards for my opponent, and like it a lot. And it's very bulky. That's really what it does, and it gets the job done well. So now with that out of the way, I sort of was like, okay, for those who do not know, this Pokemon is actually my favorite Pokemon from Generation 8, and it's like number 2 now, right below Lone Executor. And I wanted to get it as soon as possible, and I did not want anybody else to get it. And I saw it was like relatively cheap, and I was like, why is this Pokemon super cheap? And I just later found out that its signature move was banned because it's Omni boosting, and that Pokemon is Phalanx. We secured it as our number 3 pick. Overall, it's a decent Pokemon. It's not as offensive pressuring as it should be. It does have 100 attack, 100 defense, but if it really did have its signature move, No Retreat, which boosts all of its stats, excluding HP, then this would have been a fantastic Pokemon. But I can still choice Banded, choice Scarfit, Life Orb, you name it, we can work with it, and I absolutely love this Pokemon. Like I said before, and I really wanted it. Just gives me a fighting type for those pesky normal types, and it does have a pretty good move pool. I still get other moves like Body Press. I think it gets Bulk Up even, close combat. So it's not a bad Pokemon, but it would have been better if we got No Retreat, which is fine. Still love this Pokemon, and that is our number 3 spot. For our next pick, I want to get back into completing our course. We have a Dragon type, we have a Steel type, we have a Grass type. We're missing a Fire type, and Fire type Pokemon are very scarce in Generation 8, especially with this kind of pool. And so I wanted to secure a decent Fire type Pokemon that has some variety to it that can deal with other types. And so I picked up Arcanine. Arcanine is a fantastic Pokemon with its Flash Fire ability, making it immune to fire types. Its justified ability, getting an boost from getting hit by Dark type Pokemon, and it intimidates. Just a great ability in general, reducing your opponent's attack stat. Wow, it's been a long minute since last checked the Pokemon. It's a pure fire, so we don't get anything out of it. Overall, good. It has access to extreme speed, high priority, Flare Blitz, charge. We do get Morning Sight for recovery. I'm trying to think what else it gets. You can run as physical or special, bulky if you want it to, and I like this Pokemon a lot. I've had it before, I believe. I just don't remember what league. I like Arcanine though. Good, it's a good doggo, and I hope it does its work. Next up, we did draft Primarina to complete our Fairy Steel Dragon Core. We needed a Water type, and I saw that, we also needed a Water type, so this also completes our Firegrass Water Core, Firegrass, whatever, how you want to pronounce it. It's a great special attacker, something we did actually need. It's a good special wall as well, a decent speed tier, and it's just a good threat for my opponents to deal with, and yeah, just nothing else to it. I needed those two typings, and Primarina it's right there. I was actually going to pick something else like Rotom Heat right before this pick, or a Rotom or Toxicity, and I went with Primarina first, and some guy was like, oh, you're going to be happy with it. And I was like, yeah, sure, definitely. It's a good Pokemon. You definitely can't overlook this Pokemon because it can punch holes in teams. So whenever my next pick, I thought I didn't have a Fairy type. I completely forgot that I drafted Primarina. For my next pick, I picked up Togekiss. That's completely my fault, and that was a complete big brain fart on my part. So now we have two Fairy types. We do have more removal with Defog. It can be annoying with air slash flinches and all those hacks, but that's not my playing style. I don't rely on that kind of mechanic, especially because it's not a guarantee. A lot of players can use Togekiss and get infinite flinches, but with my luck, I would never get those flinches, so I'd rather not rely on that. So you'll see what we do with the team afterwards. I'll talk about that in a minute. I'm going to the initial draft of it. Now at this stage, I needed a ground type, and I needed a ghost type because they're pretty strong in this game. And I needed a mon that I believe this Pokemon can stop. I don't remember if it does or not. But I was looking at the points. We're running low on points, and I was like, okay, let's get a relatively cheap mon that's a ground type and that usually gets up layer spikes or T-spikes. And I used this Pokemon during my Let's Play. If you guys didn't watch that already, I'll have a link down in the description below, or click on my channel, subscribe. And that Pokemon is Runerigus. He is a new Pokemon. It's really Galarian Rapidash now with a ground type. Really Pokemon again. We sort of have a balanced team here. It's not hyper offensive. It's not too defensive, and I like this Pokemon a lot. It's very slow, but that's fine. Yeah, it stops rapid, which is super good because we get up our own layers and they can't really, do anything against us. Gets access to Will-O-Wisp and stuff like that, and so even Body Press, which is really good because it's dependent on your defense stat, which you can see it's super high for Runerigus. But yeah, that's pretty much why I drafted Runerigus, and I liked it a lot. My next pick, I realized I needed an electric type still, and I didn't have, there weren't that many choices to begin with, and I had some points, so I was able to get what I wanted. That was relatively expensive. So I did pick up Vagavolt. It's a good electric type, super high special attack, decent speed, and nothing much else to say. I got Sticky Webs, I got Thunderbolt, Volt Switch. I'm realizing that now I don't have that much pivot, but that's fine. And then yeah, I like this mon a lot. It's just a good mon for what it is, and I can't wait for it to put in some work. And then finally, I was like, I really don't know what I want. I want some bulk. I want a little bit more bulk on top of our bulk. And so I saw this Pokemon was still around, Umbreon, as some of the SSB folks will call it. And I was like, alright, cool. Awesome sauce. We have our team, because at this point, we had drafted 9 mons, and we had hit our point cap. So I was happy with that. Until last night, where we had a post-draft, we were completely draft, and Jess said we had unlimited transactions, and he noticed something. So for right now, this was our team. I made some changes. I made quite a few changes to this team, and I really just wanted to change it up just a little bit. I wasn't happy with the dual fairy type Pokemon. I wasn't a fan of our speed tiers. I feel like we needed some faster Pokemon because we were missing quite a few Pokemon in that 100 range and that 90, 80. So I really went in, I looked at what we had and what was still available, and I made some changes. So I mentioned that I really wanted Hydreigon, but that's actually the first Pokemon I switched out. I noticed that this Pokemon was not drafted, and I was like, how? Okay, we're gonna go with this. We're gonna go with a plan, and we're gonna execute it. So I looked at my roster, I looked what I had, and I looked at what was still available, and so okay, we're gonna go with this core, and then we'll change our pieces here and there. So our first change was Hydreigon. I know I said I wanted it. I know I said I was gonna use it, but I actually switched it out for a Pokemon that was the same point tier as Hydreigon, and that was Barraskewda. So I dropped Hydreigon, picked up Barraskewda. I think you guys might know where I'm going with this. Barraskewda, really good Pokemon. 136 speed stat is something to joke around. That's extremely fast. On top of Swift Swim and Parallel Tail, I think it's a signature ability, which ignores its opponent's ability. So if a Pokemon has a Water Absorb, I will actually go through it and do a massive amount of damage to it. It's really good. You'll typically see this as a choice band mon because it is so fast, it's hard to outspeed. It is a glass cannon, so you know it's really meant for a late game sweep, which I don't mind. I gotta learn how to do that sometime in the near future. But now that we dropped Barraskewda, we're actually missing a Dragon-type Pokemon. And so I looked at what we had, and I looked at Primarina, and I was like, you know what? There's a decent Dragon-type Pokemon in that sort of same period, and that is Goodra, a fantastic Pokemon that's in the rain, if you guys picked that up. So, we picked the Goodra with hydration ability. We are able to run like something like rest, hydration. When in the rain, that means we'll heal up to full, and in the rain, we'll actually wake up immediately, which is super cool. It's a really good tank. Can be run either special, physical, you name it. It's a very versatile Pokemon. Gives a fantastic 80 speed tier Pokemon, which we desperately needed, and I like it a lot. So now if you picked up that we have Rain, that's sort of our next pick. We did drop Togekiss, and we did pick up Pelipper immediately. That's the initial plan I had in mind. I said, we saw that we had Barraskewda, I said we had Pelipper open, I was like, alright, we're going for it. We're going for a Rain team. George actually had a Rain team for our pilot draft for the SSBL, which I didn't record because I wasn't giving it my all. But it's literally meant to set up Rain, and that's really what it's going to do. It's going to get us defog and all that stuff. So with that out of the way, now that we have Rain, I'm looking at my notes real quick, so I know what I'm talking about. These next few picks were actually kind of like up in the air because I didn't know what I was going to draft. I really didn't. Ignore that. I really did not know what we were gonna pick. I have my mouse so I can actually click the space bar. I had no idea what we were gonna pick, and so this is where really I was this close to dropping Phalanx. I was super close to dropping Phalanx because it made our jobs a little bit easier. But I said no, damn it, we're gonna keep Phalanx and we're just gonna drop our last two picks to see what we can get. So our first victim of the chopping block was Vikavolt. We did end up dropping it. I know we lose Sticky Webs, but that's fine. We did pick up a different electric type, an electric type that actually fits the rain theme, and that is Heliolisk. It's not as heavy hitting as its other counterpart, but we do get Dry Skin, which will recover health a return in the rain, and gives it an immunity to water types. You know, I can run Choice Specs, Choice Scarf, whatever it may be that I needed to run. I don't know why that's popping up again. I apologize for that. I was like, okay, you know, this actually fit in the theme of our rain team. I like it a lot. And then we got to our final pick, our final transaction. I realized we were still missing a fairy type. And so looking what was still available, and I saw that this guy was still out. So we dropped Umbreon, and we actually picked up Galarian Rapidash. I really don't know what this thing can do. I don't know its move pool that well. It was just a fairy type, it's a psychic type. So I was like, you know what? Let's run with it, no pun intended, and let's see what we can do with it. And I'm excited. I'm excited for it. I don't know what it's gonna do. To be honest, it's a new Pokemon, so we have a good mix of new Pokemon, old Pokemon, and we're putting them together. Out of this new transaction, we do have 1 point left over. I didn't pick a 1-tier Pokemon just in case I wanted to drop something and we needed that 1 point for a better Pokemon. So I didn't drop another Pokemon because I don't want to waste that transaction of dropping it for that extra point. But anywho, that's our team for the APM Juniors Division. I am very excited for this team. Let me know down below what you think of the team. What could possibly be changed so we can make it a little bit better. But overall, I'm excited. We'll see how this league turns out. But if you guys enjoyed this draft analysis, make sure you hit that like button down below. Subscribe if you are new around here. Alright guys, you guys know me as Sir Jorge. Great. Make sure you are praising the word of Runerigus. And we will catch you guys in the next video. Bye-bye!